All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to your Learning at Home science. I hope everybody's doing well. I know that you guys are all really good at using Google Classroom. So I feel like you're going to be okay doing this stuff at home. Up here, I've provided my email and my other email. The other thing you guys could use is Google Hangouts. Oh, maybe I'll start a new conversation that has our whole science class in it. So I'll do that today. I'm just going to write a note. Um, so you can send me messages there as well. But what is expected of you? So with learning at home, the expectation is that you guys spend about 3 hours per week working on each course. So for science, what does that look like? We probably have a couple weeks worth of work posted right now. And I'll sort of watch your progress and decide how much I need to release afterwards. But you're going to see right in our class stream, if you scroll down, you've got 1, 2, 3, the three things right in a row. So you're going to have a species at risk presentation. It used to be that you would have to present this in front of the class. However, for time, we've decided to make this something that you guys can do at home because it's a fairly easy task, a research assignment that you're going to create a Google slideshow. So I'll pull that up in a minute. The second task that you're going to look at is a literacy activity around the silence of the frogs. And then the third one is another biology activity that is looking at zebra mussels, an invasive species that was sort of introduced into, you could see my Google Hangout going with one of my online students. As well. So that's probably going to be the easiest way for you guys to instantly get a hold of me. So I will set that group up. The other piece to know is that I am at home, but I also have my daughter here. So in between teaching now 3 courses online, I'm also parenting, which means I have to be running around, making lunches, making breakfasts, helping her with her online courses. So it's going to be a bit of a juggling act, which is why the Hangout or email probably is going to work the best for getting a hold of me. So what's under your species at risk presentation? You've got 2 pieces, so the outline as well as the slideshow that I want you working directly on. So each of you would have been given a copy of that, and I've released that. So what does it look like? You are going to create a Google slideshow on a Canadian species at risk, and each person must pick a different one. That's going to be hard to do because we're here. But basically, you go to this link, and there's a list of Canadian species at risk, and you could just pick one. So what does your presentation have to include? So what am I expecting in your slideshow? So you need to have information about your species. So general sort of information about them, including the location in Canada. Think about the fact that you're doing a slideshow. It is nice to have pictures. It is nice for you to make nice, bold titles, watch your capitals, use bulleted points, all those things that make a slideshow look good. So the information would be where they're located in Canada, and then maybe you show me a map of that area. You would tell me what their habitat looks like. Maybe on that slide, you show me a picture of their habitat. What are the threats? What's sort of putting the species at risk? So maybe that's a different slide and you talk about that. You might find some information about efforts that are already being undertaken to protect that species, and some general interesting facts about the species. So think about those as sort of different slides, each one. Think about how you might throw a picture on there, how you might make it a nice title, and then how you would limit the wording. Don't copy and paste me a whole big paragraph of information. I don't want to see that. I want to see nice bulleted dot points and more about the presentation and the look of it. The idea is not to overwhelm me with words. So discuss one possible career that's related to the protection of your species and the education required for that career. So you're going to have to look into that. I wish I could mute that for now. So you're going to look into that. That would maybe be another slide as well. Maybe you have a slide for the career itself, and then maybe you have a slide for what the education looks like. References. Don't forget, maybe as you go, start your reference page right away. Like maybe even make it the second slide in your slideshow. And as you go, just copy and paste the links here. So make sure that you've done that, because then it's easier at the end. You don't have to think about where you got all the information. This is going to be trickier. A copy of your rough notes and the sheet for marking purposes. So where the rough notes are, this is sort of the information of your rough notes. So you can either, I don't know, me personally, I would probably just highlight this, make that my title on my slide. And then as I go, you can see that I want you to have sort of 3 points about that. 3 points about this. 3 points about this. So you can either rough out your notes here, or you could directly start putting them into the attached slide. So I'm going to leave that up to you. Because everything's online, it may be easier just to start right away with putting them on your slideshow. And when you submit, you might want to make a comment that that's what you've decided to do. Okay, so you're going to see your marking scheme here. So obviously things are going to be marked based on exactly what you see here. So did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? Where, if you get a mark of 5, that probably means that you provided me all of these pieces of information in your bullet points on your slide. If you get a lower mark, it probably means that you haven't provided me with all of these pieces of information about your species. So really use this as your guide for what I'm expecting you to add on there. This is going to change because we're not going to have time for the oral presentations just because of our school year being so funny. And I think you guys should be good to go to sort of plug away at this at home this week. I don't think I'm going to do a video for the next 2 assignments because I think if you start with this species at risk presentation, this is going to fill enough of your 3 hours for the week. So I will next week look at doing some videos for how you do the next part. So this, at least you'll know what's coming. But this week, this is your focus, okay? And feel free to email me. Feel free to reach out to me. You're going to see a new conversation started with our whole science class. And you can also start individual conversations with me there too. Okay, I hope you all are doing well and staying safe at home, and reach out to me if you have any trouble.